Dear students, today we will be going to discuss about monohybrids and dihybrid crosses in detail. As we know, the George Mendel's experiments were a breakthrough in the field of biology as they helped in laying the foundation of genetics. So the questions like why do children look similar to their parents and why there are few differences between two children that belong to the same parents. So all these type of questions started gaining the answers. So now we have to understand the monohybrid cross and the monohybrid ratio as well. So let's take a moment to review it. How did we get F1 generation? Obviously, we got it by considering the all possible combinations that are present here. But is there a method to find it systematically? Yes. So before moving towards the dihybrid crosses and ratio, let us have a quick look at an extremely important and useful method for writing a cross. So this method is named as a Punnett square. Well, this method is quite useful in many ways, and this method was developed by a British genetist named Reginald Punnett. Hence, it is most commonly known as Punnett square. So now let's consider the technique step by step. First thing we do is we make a table like this. Then we write a symbol of male and female. These male and female symbols can be written as vice versa. So it is nothing to do with. And after this will tell us that the maternal alleles should be placed here and the paternal alleles should be placed here. So let us begin the crossing. First of all, you know, this allele will combine with the capital T allele, and after their combination, it will give us a progeny like capital T and small t. And then this allele will combine with this allele, and it will results in a genotype which is has been shown in your screen in the shape of capital T and small t. Then after this T will combine with this T to form a capital T, a small t pair. And in the same way, the last progeny will be formed. So as you can see that these two alleles can give us, uh, you know, a genotype that is heterozygous in nature. So it is a simple concept of respective column and rows pairing for each slot. So now if we compare the simple cross that we usually carry out, as you can see, this is what we get. Notice that the results are exactly the same. All plants in the F1 generation are tall and they have the same genotype. They all are heterozygous. This confirms that our cross is correct, and this technique is also called as checkerboard method. Let us cross any two from the F1 generation now. Again, what we do? First, we draw these two lines to form a table and then write male and female symbols and the genes here. These are the combination that we obtain on crossing these plants. So what would be the phenotypic and genotypic ratio here? And if you remember that the phenotypes refers to the observable physical properties that can be visualized with naked eye. So we can clearly see that there are three tall plants and one dwarf plant. So the phenotypic ratio is 3 is to 1. So what about the genotype? There is one homozygous tall, two heterozygous tall cases, and one homozygous recessive case. So the genotypic ratio will be 1 is to 2 is to 1. We get exactly the same results that we obtained on crossing the F1 previously. So this is how the monohybrid cross can be carried out by using the Punnett square method or so now let us consider the concept of dihybrid cross. The cross involves two parameters at a time is called as dihybrid cross and the ratio obtained will be a dihybrid ratio. After all the seven pairs of contrasting parameters were crossed individually, Mendel went a step ahead and crossed plants considering two parameters at a time, and he tried a dihybrid cross. So let us consider plant height and flower color parameters together to understand the concept of dihybrid cross. For our convenience, we take one plant which has both dominant parameters, for example, tall height and purple color flower, while the other plant with both having recessive parameters, for example, small height and white color flowers being recessive traits. It means that we have taken both the plants which are homozygous. So what will be the genotypes here? Double T double P in uppercase will be this plant which is tall and having purple colored flower. Similarly, TTPP in lowercase will represent a plant that is a small in height and is having a white colored flower. So this is how we separate the gametes. And now we are ready for the crossing, and this is how F1 generation would look like. So now to get a conclusive results, we need to cross the offsprings from the F1 generation to get the F2 generation. Then after crossing, we have to pick any two, any two offsprings from the F1 generation that will be used as a parents in the subsequent generation. So here we picked these two parents from the F1 generation, as you can see on your screen. These gametes can be formed in these four different combinations for each case, like this. Now, on practical notes, the crossing is not easy as seems here. Hence, we use Punnett square method to elaborate the crossing to make it further easy to understand. Let us get started with the crosses for obtaining F2 generation. We write the male and female symbol first, followed by this. Then we write respective gametes here and here. And how do we cross these to fill in all the 16 slots? We cross each row and column respectively. So if we got through the first row and first column, we would cross like this. As you can see on your screen, we can see that all the offsprings are tall with purple color flowers. That's because that there is at least one capital T and one capital P in each case. On similar lines, these are the results that we obtain in the other slots. Let us count the different combinations now. These are the four different possible combinations. The first one would be tall with purple colored flowers, tall with white colored flowers, dwarf with purple colored flower, and dwarf with white colored flowers. So now can you count the number of plants that are tall and are having purple colored flowers? Yes, we have 9 plants which are tall and having purple colored flowers. And then there are 3 plants which shows that the tall heightedness and having white color flowers. Then there are 3 plants that show small height but having a purple color flower. And then there will be only one plant which is having a small height and have a white color flower. So if we taken together, then we obtain a ratio like 9:3:3:1. This ratio is referred to as a dihybrid ratio, or you can say a phenotypic ratio. So this is how we can, make a table for a dihybrid cross or a monohybrid cross in a simple way by using a Punnett square method, or you can say a checkerboard board method.